As an introduction, now for the benefit of the late enrollees and those who have just joined us, now production management is different from other elements of filmmaking. No, in this case, it involves the physical part, no, of the production rather than the creative aspects pertaining to screenwriting, production design, cinematography, editing, musical scoring, directing, and others, no? So under production management or managing resources, no, not just the human resources but also the equipment, and then scheduling the production, no, with the production manager working with another staff or another member of the production team, which is the assistant director, and handling the budget, managing the budget. Okay, so the production manager and or the production management team, no, is present in all three stages of production, no, from the pre-production, as uh, coming up with yun nga the production schedule, budgeting, and looking for locations, no, up to the production stage, no, ito nga yung uh, contacting yung cast and crew, and even getting, no, the equipment from the suppliers, securing transportation, no, getting food from caterers or food providers, no, and ano pa ba? Make sure that the production follows the schedule, no, as planned. And sa post-production, ito na yung uh, coming up with the shot list, no, from the videos, no, recorded by the production team, or the shots, no, uh, recorded, no, by during the production stage. Okay? So the production manager, no, supervises the physical aspects of the production. Under the production manager is the location manager, no, the one in charge with securing permits for locations and talking to contacts, no, dun sa locations of the shoot. And even the production coordinators, na yung production coordinators, sila yung kumukontak nga dun sa mga suppliers and even the casting crew. And some production assistants, no? The production manager work closely with the producer, no? Either the line producer or the executive producer, at least, no, the ones handling the finances, no, to make sure that the production will not go over budget. Okay? So resources, budget, schedule, and making sure, no, that the production uh, runs, no, smoothly or as planned. Okay? So in production, no, we have two laws. Number one is the Murphy's Law, which states that if anything will go wrong, it will. And then the second law of production, which is contrary, no, to the Murphy's Law or the anti-Murphy's Law, which states that proper prior planning prevents poor productions. No? So simply put, if we plan, no, before we go to the actual production, no, we'll minimize yung cost, no, the mistakes, uh, and make sure, no, that the production will follow a specific schedule, especially if you already have uh, a screening schedule, no, for your film. Okay, so the production manager also handles yung salaries or talent fees of the cast and crew, no, equipment rental, or if ever, no, maybe the production management team will deem it fit, no, or cheaper if the uh, production team will buy, no, equipment, especially in cases wherein, no, the filmmaker will continue doing films, or if it's a series of films, no, and of course the expenses, no, during the production. Okay, maybe these aspects of the production you have already done this before, no? Not only in your senior high school classes but also in your film prod. Okay? But continuing with our discussion, no, yung what we're going to discuss today ay yung drafting the shooting sked. Okay? Uh, so I'll illustrate no what we did for Hingalo, coming up with a sequence breakdown, and then later on coming up with a production schedule. In the case of a short film, no, usually you just have one person, no, doing the work of the assistant director and the production manager. But in full-length film productions, no, you have an assistant director who works, no, with the director in the creative aspect, and then the production manager, no, who works with the assistant director, no, in scheduling the production. Okay? I'll also provide you with a sample contracts, no, if ever you need one. Okay, so the manager, no, is a link of the producer, no, to the director, and under the director are the creative, no, uh, members of the production. Okay, and then under pre-production, no, the production management team, as mentioned earlier, will also secure permits. No? In the cases of student productions, no, usually either you just schedule your shoots, no, and your locations, no, sa mga relatives, or sa mga thesis prod naging practice na they hire Airbnb, no, tapos yung house na lang yung gagamitin for the shoot. Okay, sa production naman, since you already have a schedule, no, assuming coming from the pre-production stage, you make sure that the schedule will be implemented, no, strictly, or the creative members of the team will follow the production schedule. And then, of course, since the production manager is the link of the producer, no, to the director, the production manager will report, no, to the producers whatever the progress will be or are, no, dun sa during the production stage. Okay, tapos sa post-production na nga is yung the ensure the post-production activities are on schedule, no? Namely the editing, the musical scoring, and the sound designing. Okay? And make sure that all the raw materials, no, are provided doon sa editor. Okay? So sometimes yung mga production manager after the production is through, no, nakakalimutan na nila na yung work nila kasama pa sa post-production. Yun, no? So, yung mga example din, fortunately, no, for your generation, meron na mga software, no? Meron kang Studio Binder, meron kang Movie Magic, and others. Kaya nung nag-assign ako nung hingalo, nagulat ako, aba, mukhang gumamit ng mga software ng mga students. We'll just go through yung the different scenes. No? Scenes lang naman to, hindi naman to collection of scenes, kaya hindi siya sequences. Okay, so you have the first scene, no, wherein Nando borrowed the tricycle from the neighbor, Tikyo. Okay? Because Tinay is about to give birth. Tapos second scene is Nando and Tinay inside the tricycle traveling along the road. The third scene is when they reach the first hospital, which is the private hospital. Okay? Ito yung may dalawang nurses wearing white, no? And the security guard. Tapos, the nurse glances furtively at the tricycle. So, she suggested that the Nando and Tinay go to the other hospital. No? By glancing furtively, it means they're judging. She's judging, no, the capacity of Nando to pay the hospital. No? Fourth scene, dahil sinuggest ng nurse that they go to another hospital. No, you have Nando and Tinay inside the tricycle, inside the same tricycle, no, which they borrowed from Tikyo, and then they're traveling along the road then. Okay? And then fifth scene, they reach the public hospital, no? but you have a lot of patients, no? So the hospital can't accommodate uh Tinay, no, immediately, and she's about to give birth. So one of the nurses suggested that they go to the other hospital, another public hospital with less patients. So sixth scene, Nando and Tinay are traveling, no, to the other hospital. They're again on the road in the same tricycle. And then seventh scene, okay, you just see Nando, Kerry, and Tinay with passersby, no, with patients in the hospital and nurses, no, passing in front of them and the back, no, of Nando. Okay, and then you have Nando alone in the tricycle because if you've seen the short film, patay na si Tinay. Okay. It's a sequence breakdown of Hingalo. You just write down yung ano, you just write down the sequence number, pero in the case of Hingalo nga, scene lang yon, hindi naman siya collection of scenes, no? Scene lang yon, and then day or night, time of day, interior, exterior, dito pinaghiwalay pa, no, the main actors, Nando, Tinay, and the supporting actors or others, no? So yung mga extras. And then the location, and then the description. Okay? So, if you have 8 scenes, you just write down yung number nila. Tapos, if you have seen the short film Hingalo, wala ka namang day scenes dyan. Puro night yan. Okay? Pero meron kang exterior tsaka interior. Meron interior kapag ka pumasok si Nando doon sa hospital with Tinay. Pero exterior kapag ka nasa labas lang sila with the tricycle. Okay? So merong conditions na sineset, no, na dapat i-consider nung production manager, no. Kung ito na yung binigay ng assistant director, again yung sequence breakdown ginagawa ng assistant director. Tapos later on kapag nakuha to ng production manager, gagawa niya ng production schedule. Okay? Usually, no, sa mainstream films, ang consideration ay availability ng actors. Sa Ingalo, wala ka namang condition ng actors, no? Ang condition na sinet, yung sinabi ni Jeza sa chat, yung limited time to shoot in the hospital. Okay, mag-artista na lang, dos. Oo, mag-artista na lang tayo, no? Kaysa maging crew tayo. Okay? Or maging ano, creative members of the production. Okay, so in the case of Ingalo, yung mga actors namin, actually, they're not really professional actors. No, si Nando, si Max Balatbat, if you're going to research his name, Max Balatbat, the main character is actually a painter by profession. Si Tinay, um, journalist siya, no? Okay, so we're going to pay for equipment rental, we're going to pay for food, we're going to pay for the cast and crew, no, however minimal it is. Basta 30,000 pesos lang yung budget. So dahil kung magre-rent ng hospitals, 9,000 pesos ng 3,000, ng 30,000 pesos yung kakainin, na-involve ako sa project because I was teaching at University of Makati, tapos mukhang hospital nga yung building doon. So kinontak ako ni Ana Isabel Matutina, sabi niya, can we shoot at University of Makati? So ang goal ko lang doon as location manager is to secure permits, no, sa administration of University of Makati for us to be allowed to shoot in the nursing building. Pero yun nga, as Jezra has mentioned, no, yun yung condition, pero may classes, no? So which means we need to wait for classes to end, no, at 6 p.m. before we can start shooting. Fortunately, if you look at the screenplay, puro night scenes yan. Okay? So, dahil yun yung conditions, kahit na yung iba sa inyo, usually yung iba, magsushoot muna sa road. Tama? Kung nakita nyo yung screenplay, baka mag-shoot muna kayo sa road. Yung iba nagsushoot muna sa road. Bakit? Kasi baka umulan. At baka hindi mo kailangan yung road, yung ulan doon sa scene. Okay? So, pwedeng unahin mo yung road. 2, 2, 4, 6, and 8. However, since doon sa condition set, kailangan maunang i-shoot yung mga hospital scenes, no? You just cut this. Nakikita ba sa screen? Manual ko siya. Okay? And then, you insert it. No? Na-cut cells. Tapos, you cut this one. And then, you insert it. Dito. Sa pangalawa. And then, you cut the last scene, no, in the hospital, which is scene 7. And then, you insert it here. Okay? So, in this case, you already have your production schedule. Ang dali, di ba? Madali ito kung ito yung inassign ko. Pero hindi ito yung magagawa ko sa inyo. Ang paggagawa ko sa inyo is kinulayang kiti. No? Papanoorin nyo yung short film. May kopya kayo ng screenplay. Gagawan siya ng production schedule. Individually. Muna. Okay? So yan. So 3, 5, 7. Tapos 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay? So ang kagandahan dito, at least, no, if you watch the recording, no, lahat ng hospitals are located in the same location. Okay? It's just the nursing building lobby. So the right side of the lobby is the private hospital, no, the one with the nurses wearing white uniform. Yung the fifth scene, the first public hospital, yun yung maraming government posters, no, DOH posters and health posters. Yun yung left side of the building lobby. Okay, tapos yung last hospital or scene 7, no, yun yung middle, yung pagpasok lang ni Nando. Again, spoiler alert, patay na si Tinay. No, so hindi na talaga fully pumasok si Nando, doon na lang siya sa door, and if you look closely, no, ako yung isa doon sa mga extras yung tinutulak ng wheelchair sa likod ni Nando. Tapos 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 ka na. Ang kulang na lang dito is another oops, another uh, another column for the time. Kasi production schedule to. So, which means kung 6 p.m., no, natapos yung klase, magse-set up pa kami. Technically, no, actually, nag-start siya ng 7. Okay? So, 7 to 8 yan. Tapos siguro may set up, no, or may break. Nag 8:30 to 9:30 ka rito. Tapos, nag-break ka ulit. Nag 10 to 11 ka rito.